Hey there. If you've got a dog in South Salt Lake, you know it's a mix of everything, right? You've got busy streets, maybe you're in an apartment. Getting the right training is honestly the secret to having a really happy, stress-free life together.
So let's break it down. We're going to walk through 5 main things to help you find that perfect trainer. We'll talk about why knowing South Salt Lake matters, what makes a trainer a real pro, what it's all going to cost, what you should ask them, and some local spots and rules you want to know about. You know, great training here isn't just about sit and stay. It's really about getting your dog ready for real life in this city. Think about it. Can they walk calmly past the Central Point track station without getting worked up? Or can they be a good, quiet neighbor if you're in an apartment? That's the stuff that really counts. And that's why you want a trainer who gets our area. Someone who can help you set goals that actually make sense for the South Salt Lake lifestyle. We're talking about things like walking on a leash without pulling past the global market, or just chilling out at home when your neighbors are coming and going. The plan has to work in your daily life, not just some training room. Okay, so how do you actually find a great trainer? Well, it really boils down to 2 things you need to look at: their whole approach to training, their philosophy, and their professional credentials. Getting these 2 right is a huge part of making a good decision.
You're going to hear this term a lot, positive reinforcement. And for good reason. It's what all the best, modern, ethical trainers use. Basically, it's about rewarding your dog for good choices, with treats, praise, a favorite toy, you name it. This builds up their confidence, which is so helpful in a city. A confident dog is just way less likely to get spooked by all the random sounds and sights out there. It makes for much calmer walks and, honestly, a happier dog.
All right, you're going to see a bunch of letters after some trainers' names. Don't let the alphabet soup scare you. Think of these certifications as a good sign. It shows the trainer is serious about their education and follows a professional standard. For example, a CPDTKA means they've passed a big test on all things dog training. And if you're dealing with tougher stuff, like serious anxiety or aggression, seeing something like CBCCKA or IABC-CDBC is even better. That tells you they have specialized knowledge in behavior. Okay, let's talk about the practical side of things, the different kinds of training you can get, and, of course, what it's likely to cost you right here in our area. So, you've got a couple of main choices. Group classes are awesome for learning basic manners and getting your dog used to being around other dogs and people in a controlled way. But if you have a really specific issue at home, like your dog goes nuts barking at the door or jumps all over your guests, that's where private lessons really shine. That one-on-one attention can make all the difference. Let's look at the numbers. As you can see, a 6-week group class is a pretty affordable way to get started. Private lessons are a bit more per session, but packages can be a really good deal if you're tackling something specific. And then you have board and trains. These are a much bigger financial commitment, for sure, because your dog is living with the trainer and getting constant, intensive work. It's kind of like sending them to a full-on training boot camp.
All right, so you've found a few trainers you like the sound of. The next step is to chat with them. You'll want to go into that conversation with some good questions ready to go.
And here's a little checklist for you. You'll definitely want to ask about their main training philosophy and what certifications they have. Also ask if they can customize a plan for your dog's issues and which format they think is best. And of course, how their fees work. If you're dealing with behavior problems, asking if they work with vets is a really smart question too. Their answers will tell you just about everything you need to know.
Okay, so once you start training, you've got to take those skills out into the real world, right? That means knowing the local rules and some of the best spots to go to keep the practice going. Here's the number you've got to remember in South Salt Lake: 8. That's 8 feet. The city law is that your dog has to be on a leash that's no longer than 8 feet anytime you're not on your own property. It's a super simple rule, but it's all about keeping everybody safe.
So where can you go to practice? Well, we've got some great spots. The Central Point Dog Park is awesome because it's fenced, so it's a safe place to work on your dog's recall. The Jordan River Parkway Trail is perfect for practicing those leash walking skills with all sorts of real distractions passing by. Salt Lake County Animal Services is your go-to for things like vax clinics. And if you want a more natural setting, Parley's Nature Reserve is a great nearby spot for a leashed hike. So just take a second and think about it. What would your daily life look like with a really well-trained dog? Imagine just taking a nice, relaxing walk down the Jordan River Parkway, or having friends come over without all the stress, or just knowing you have a peaceful, happy relationship with your dog and your neighbors. Finding the right trainer is really the first step toward all of that. Good luck on your training journey.